Welcome back to the CryptoLabs YouTube channel, Aperture Finance. As you may or may not know, we're big fans of Aperture Finance. If you're into liquidity pools, concentrated liquidity, if you want an easy, simple way to get into this stuff on multiple chains, rebalance, add liquidity, remove liquidity, take your profits, Aperture Finance is an amazing tool. By the way, we do have an AMA with Aperture Finance inside the Underdog Investor Group. If you just go on over into the live calls, we have a private AMA with Aperture Finance on Monday. You can jump in, ask your questions. As part of the Underdog Investor Group, you get full access to these things, and we're bringing more private AMAs with trusted teams, trusted projects, people who are really building in this space to you. So if you're part of the UIG, come on Monday. Hang out. If you're not part of the UIG and you want to be, then I'll leave a link below. Would love for you to join us. Aperture Finance. Instead of reading through it, I'll leave a link for Aperture Finance. Now, by the way, this isn't like a ROI Dapp or some kind of project that you invest in that gives you some kind of daily return. You've got to put some work in here. That's not what this is. Aperture Finance is a tool. And so I'll leave a link for it. You can go through all the details. You can go through the roadmap. You can go through the white paper. What I'll show you is we'll literally just use it. So on Aperture Finance here, I'm going to use Arbitrum just for fun. So you can jump on different chains from Ethereum, which we avoid because the Ethereum fees are so high that unless you have, six figures within that portfolio, the fees can really start eating into your profits by a really massive percentile. But we'll play on pools on Arbitrum, which you can still get exposure to ETH, of course, Optimism, Polygon, Base, BNB, and Avalanche. I don't play with Manta Pacific, but everything else, we have pools on all of these chains. And so we'll use Arbitrum, for example, here. Wrap Bitcoin USDC, I actually removed liquidity a while ago and have just been re-adding liquidity in this range. We'll probably get that up to around 4 or 5 grand again. We'll use this ARB USDC pool as the example. This thing has been paying me out steady, some awesome returns. I've got another 56 bucks in here. So Aperture Finance is a tool where you can actually provide liquidity, create your position, set your range. You can add liquidity. So I'm in an ARB USDC pool on Arbitrum. My range is between $1 and $1.18. So I'm just on the max range of that, but it's been in range for a very long time, and I haven't had to really rebalance in a really long time. It's been earning me consistent fees. I've got $3,137 of liquidity in here. I could add liquidity. I could remove my liquidity. I could remove all of it, take my $3,193 back, and I'm done. I could take my profits and I could reinvest them, which I'll just do right now as a example. So of course I have $3,137 of liquidity. I'm going to reinvest that back into my pool, reinvest, and I'll take my profits and I move them back in. So now I've got $3,193. Is it locked? No. I could remove liquidity. I could remove 100% of it, and I'm out, and now I have $3,193. I can rebalance. So if I want to rebalance my range, which I'm actually not really worried about my range right now, I think I'll be able to stay in range. And this thing has been earning me some ridiculous APY, like ridiculous. I'm not too concerned about it. If I move a little bit out of range, I won't be rebalancing anytime soon. I think we're going to get right back into range. So I'm not too worried about it. My range is pretty tight right now, but I know ARB really well because I've watched it for literally ever. I've been a fan of ARB for a very long time. And so I know how it moves. And so I'm fairly comfortable with where it's at right now. So I won't worry about rebalancing it. And that's that. So you don't have to go on Uniswap, and you don't have to, it's a little more less user-friendly on Uniswap. Arbitrum is a tool that allows you to do all of this in one nice, tight, one dashboard, one central place, and we're really big fans of the team. In fact, such big fans of the team that, again, we do have them coming on. We hold 4 or 5 calls a week inside the UIG, from TA calls like today, our end-of-week investor reports and calls. Please join these because they are juicy, like every week. Last week, we went deep into the week before. We were doing a lot of AI tokens and AI narratives. Last week was a lot of DEXs and native DEX tokens and different yield farming opportunities to actually mine for things like Cake and Uni and Radium and Joe. And so these reports, we come out every week. We share different member wins from, $20 a day to people earning $3,000 a month to et cetera, et cetera. So definitely, if you're part of the community, make sure you're joining those or watching the replays or at least grabbing the reports. And again, Monday, we have an AMA with Aperture Finance. It is live. You can hop in, and we are holding private AMAs. We got a lot of questions for the team, and they're developing more and more tools, and the roadmap is really, really juicy. So I hope to see you inside. If not, then go play with Aperture Finance. Play with a little bit. Don't put your entire bag into one set of assets when you don't understand what you're doing. There is a system to it. I see some people on YouTube being like, I just spent $40 on ETH fees. I'm like, you could have avoided that. You don't have to be on the Ethereum network. You can be on ARB and Optimism. Or setting way too tight ranges, or just getting a little too aggressive or getting a little too greedy. So start small, play with it. Even when we have members or clients, if they have like 10 grand or 5 grand, we're like, just play with $100. Master making 10 or 15% on $100 because that's infinitely scalable. So we always start small. So don't be afraid to start small. Nothing wrong with that. And again, do check out Aperture Finance, check out their website, check out their white papers. This isn't a paid video or anything. They didn't ask us to share this. We actually reached out to them and said, hey, we'd love to have you on the AMA. And we love what you're doing. So this isn't paid. We don't get any kind of referrals or anything like that. We don't share any referral links anymore. We don't do any of that. I refuse to do it. We just want to find awesome teams that are building some awesome things and bring exposure to you through the YouTube channel. So that's that. Go have fun with it. Let me know what you think of Aperture Finance below if you've been using it. If you haven't, no more DJ. True DeFi. No more gambling. Let's focus on investing. And through concentrated liquidity pools and building a bull run portfolio, which, by the way, I think we are definitely not even close to the next cycle. I think we've been in accumulation phase for a while. We're in a bit of a growth phase for a while, but we're far from the bubble phase. And so we still have time to capitalize on this stuff. And I think a lot of people are still sleeping on it. Then the bubble comes. You know what I'll do? I'm going to share a quick image. We got accumulation, we got growth, we got bubble, then we got the crash. We got accumulation, we got growth, we got the bubble. That's where the gains are made. We are so far from a bubble. As of right now, we've been in accumulation. Maybe we're teetering on growth, but we're so far from the bubble. And I think a lot of people, they start getting in at the top of the bubble because they get excited. Crash comes, they're like, oh, crypto's a scam. It's not. It's a game, and you got to learn how to play it. You got to learn how to play it. And we in the UIG have been in accumulation, and we're still very excited, and we're still building our bull run bags, and we're using True DeFi to print us an income so we can invest in our bull run bag without necessarily needing to inject more and more capital and on-ramp, from fiat. So that's my time. I know I get a little excited by this stuff, but you can't blame me because the opportunities are endless in this space. I hope this was of value to you. Hope to see you on the AMA on Monday. And with that said, we'll talk soon. Peace.